Today is the day that I've been waiting for a really, really, really long time. I was approached by a small little company that's slowly starting to get into the arcade stick industry, and the name of this company is Bit Gaming. I was recommended to work with some of the lovely staff here to help them beta test some of their products. So one of the products that I am helping them beta test is their super fresh SOCD cleaner. So for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with what SOCD cleaners actually do, SOCD stands for simultaneous opposite cardinal directions. And I know you might still be asking, okay, what the hell does that mean? So basically, whenever you press left and right at the same time, both inputs cancel each other out as opposed to one overriding the other, which could be really powerful for charge characters. So making left and right go to neutral, that basically makes it fair, so that way you can't like continually throw sonic booms all day with Guile. For the up and down directions, it automatically gives you up, so you can't like consistently hold your down charges by holding down both of those inputs at the same time. When you're pressing down and up, it'll always give you up, and whenever you're holding left and right at the same time, it'll always just give you nothing. It'll send no inputs into the controller whatsoever. So I'm testing out this cleaner for Bit Gaming, but I needed an enclosure for this, because otherwise I was just gonna try and like make this thing work inside of a cardboard box, and I was not happy with that. Like I did try this whenever I was like initially giving feedback for them, and I was just really not a fan. Like it hurt me spiritually to use an arcade stick inside of a literal cardboard box. So we're not doing that. Instead, what we're doing is that we are building the testing build that will house this. So some of you guys might have already guessed based off of you looking at my browser tabs, but the enclosure that we have chosen, the good old Butter Bomber from Buttercade. So it's actually, it's the guys at Buttercade who actually like recommended me to the Bit Gaming crew. So in a way, this has kind of all come full circle in terms of like us all working together to get this stuff done. So I chose one of their enclosures. I decided to go with the 30mm hitbox. So I'm gonna try and build my test build for Bit Gaming in this. So this is actually the second time that I've worked with one of Buttercade's enclosures. If you guys are unfamiliar, I did a review on Buttercade's Butter Box, which is like a smaller 3D printed enclosure. You can check out the video on my YouTube channel by typing in !YouTube. It's one of my best videos, and it's also a video I'm really proud of. It's my first like actual like piece of review content on the channel, and I think it turned out really well. To save a little bit, because I don't really have too much money right now to kind of be like tossing around doing arcade stick modding stuff, I retired my Itoki Omni, and I'm taking the internals from that and then whatever spare parts that I have for like other builds, and just using it to build like this Franken testing rig. So usually when I design an arcade stick, I have some like artistic vision in mind for how I want it to look, how I want it to feel, and everything, etc., etc. We don't have that kind of luxury here because I just want to make sure I can give Bit Gaming good feedback. So I'm just gonna build this, I guess, Franken rig in the Butter Bomber, and we're gonna see how exactly this goes. Okay, so we now have our official top-down view. So I can finally see how everything is going to actually look. I'm gonna open up Twitch on my phone just to make sure I can keep an eye on things. So, first thing that we need to do is we need to prep the enclosure. So this is actually my first time working with an acrylic case. So I did a little bit of research in advance to make sure I like don't like royally screw things up. But before I actually show some of the panels of the case, I had a thing I wanted to show off. I'm pretty sure I probably showed this off the last time I did a mod stream because it was also one of John's products. But I got this little sticker. Whenever I got my order, I got a little Buttercade sticker, and I also got this little pin. The pin is new. Like I was shocked whenever I got the pin because I remember the sticker. The sticker is a thing I usually get whenever I get Buttercade products, but I got a pin too. Nice. Okay. So unpaid shilling for Buttercade aside, let's go ahead and check out this panel. Okay, so here we have the top panel for the Butter Bomber. So the thing about acrylic cases is that they have this like protective film over top of them. So this is technically a clear. This is a clear acrylic panel. So if we just take off the film, then we can actually see how clear this actually is. Been a lot of activity going on in the chat. This is reminding me that I should look for someone to make a stick design, possibly 3D print. Peel off the clear plastic of the pin. I need to... Yeah, like... like Big Bang Gaming, they sent me gummies when I got my when I got my test SOCD cleaner. So you know, one sends pins and stickers, the other one sends gummies. I don't know, man. There's a lot to like in both. Newsletters, memory board for the edges, gotcha. Okay. Almost there. Alright, and that is the first bit. I'm starting to see a little bit of it. Looks some really nicely cut acrylic. Kind of looking forward to this. Okay. Let's see. Oh man. You see, here's the thing about like me trying to keep up with the chat right now. Like in OBS, I'm like, I can see all your guys' individual names, but you're all orange, which is really unusual. So I'm like, So it's like, okay, who is this a new person talking? Is this an old person talking? Oh god. Okay. Alright, let's see. Yeah, now you can actually see it, especially like how clear the top panel is. And we are good. It's very nice, it's very well cut. I'm gonna have to... Okay, before we actually like apply this, I'm gonna take like my like cleaning cloth in my hitbox case and wipe this down a little bit. Okay, so beneath that, everything else is gonna have a black panel. So the bottom support panel, the side panels, everything else, it's going to be black. There's also there's a special thing for the bottom of the enclosure, but I will get to that whenever I get to that. And so next up, next panel. We're gonna handle the bigger pieces first, and then just kind of like work our way down.
Fingers trace when your words slip beside me.
Let's see. Ooh, this black acrylic looks really clean. Okay. I've had it like on my list to work with an acrylic enclosure at like some point. The real like question of like me using an acrylic panel was like, okay, am I using like Buttercades first? Am I gonna get something from Marvelous Customs? Do I like get in touch with Johnny Fraze? Like I was going to do an acrylic build at some point. In fact, I was originally going to do my test build in the B&B Fightstick. But then I was like going around like gauging and comparing like prices for enclosures, and I'm like, I could probably just get a cheaper acrylic enclosure if I just go to Buttercade. That being said, I will still probably work with the B&B enclosure at some point. Just not today. Come on. Yes, and there we go. And this is very like well made, well cut acrylic. Like I can see my reflection in this. No alcohol on acrylic and crack it? Ooh. Good to know. And I'll drink, but if I were ever rubbing alcohol, no. Still applies. Still applies. Although I don't really find myself working around like rubbing alcohol anyway, but again. Alright. So this is the underside panel for the top. The Butter Bomber. Gotcha. Alright, so this next panel. I have ambitions. So for the bottom panel, I asked for there to be an opening. Cause I'm not sure if you guys have actually seen this, and I could probably just pull up the link to this if I go into the Salt Monastery Discord. And let's see. What's the command for this? I should know this, but I never really have like I think it's like wire? Yeah. So if you go into the Salt Monastery Discord and type in -wire, there's a guide that I want to use at some point. And it's this Fightstick wiring guide by the UK Fight Mods guys. I want to do wiring work like this. Like this is like my end goal. So my main thing is like, okay, I can do wiring work like this, but if people can't see the interior of it, then what's the point? And I'm always about style over substance. So I want to do wiring work like this, and I want people to see it. So that's why I have this like clear window on the bottom enclosure. Plus, This will also show off the fact that I'm using the Bitbang Gaming Super Fresh SOCD cleaner. So it shows off the internal, shows off the really sleek wiring. It's a win-win. So that's why we're doing this. I unfortunately do not have like this is just like the initial like prep phases for this arcade stick. Whenever we're going end game with this, yo, like this will have artwork, this will have clean wiring, it'll have everything. Like trust me, my vision for this arcade stick does not end tonight. We got a lot more work to do. We just gotta get the money first. Go pull up my latest bomber with the window and the wiring. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. I have the image somewhere in here, because I know I have the image because I sent it to you as like my reference. Let's see where it is. Zoomed way in. But yeah, as Buttercade was talking about, like wiring work like this. Like this is what I want. This want something that looks sleek, that looks clean, that looks visually impressive. Like that's what I want. And I want to do this myself. So I have a vision for what I would want everything to look like for this. It's just a matter of taking the time. Making the time. Alright, so that's the top side of this. Let's take care of the bottom side. I have to make the stick look. I have to make the stick look this good by the end of the stream. Hey man, listen. If people start donating me money and I can like have parts flown to me within like the next 30 minutes, then yeah, we'll make it look that good. Yeah, man, we don't have time to like wait the entire stream for that. Well, one can only hope. One can only hope. Everyone wants to throw money at you. Listen, you do good stuff. Like, look at these things. Look at these things. Camera focus. Focus for me. Focus for me. Yes. Like, dude, as simple as this is, you made these things and they save people money, like not breaking buttons. Like, bro, we have reasons to give you money. Okay, so that is the bottom panel. There's also a little plexiglass for that, which is right here. And yeah, okay. When's my next competitive tourney? You mean like the next tourney that I'm running, or the next tourney that I'll be like entering in and like actually competing in? Because those are two completely different things. Okay, so if you're talking about like the next tourney that I'll be hosting, I host Dragon Punch, the Street Fighter V Dragon Punch bracket, like every single week on Saturday. So technically this Saturday, provided that we are running a bracket this week, I would assume that we are, but we just don't have the event page up yet. I need to yell at Corey about that. Hey, hang on a sec. I'm gonna take a break. I gotta yell at RTO for not having the event page up. Yeah. Do we have an event page yet? Question mark? Hang on a sec. I got. I'm gonna go back and edit that. Question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point? Nah, the exclamation points are too much. To which our ever omnipresent TO immediately responds. I would show you guys this channel, but I think it's supposed to be top secret TO channel. I've said too much. Okay. So our main TO for Dragon Punch says that the page will be up tonight. So hopefully by the end of the stream, I'll have an event page for you guys. So yeah, so in terms of like the next stream that the next tournament that I'll be like hosting, that'll be this Saturday. In terms of like the next like tournament that I'll be competing in, I compete in a lot of stuff on like a very weekly basis. Like I've been entering Digital Havoc on Fridays for footsies. I've been consistently entering RSF for Street Fighter V like every single week. So like there's really not anything of like too major of a scale that I've like decided to enter, at least as of right now. I was hoping that and John, you probably heard about this, but I was hoping really badly ever since like the end of last year to come back to Royal Arcade Jam and then like win a tournament there. But unfortunately with Tokyo Attack fortunately going under, there will unfortunately not be another Raj, which is big sad. And people all over the Midwest mourn at the same time. Anyway, back on the subject of this. So we got the front and back panels and these additional side panels. Yeah, I was pretty upset that Raj got canceled because it was like Raj was easily my favorite tournament that I went to of 2019. That was my first Raj, and keep in mind, I also went to my first Evo that year. Raj was very easily my favorite event that I ever attended in 2019. Like, I got to meet a whole bunch of Midwest homies. That's actually how I got to meet No Good Citizen for the first time. And we're kind of buds, I guess. I had a kind of decent showing on stream. Got to chill with the boys and watch Capcom Cup in person. Watch my man Idom take it all with Poison. Remember, Poison won Capcom Cup. Poison won Capcom Cup. And then like the 24-hour venue with all the like various arcade games and whatnot, and bruh. Raj was incredible, and I'm really sad that I'm sad that we don't have that event for a number of different reasons. Because Raj was like the last like Ohio major, I guess you could say. Like it was like Raj was like the last Ohio like big event. Because I've been told that in the days before my time with the Ohio FGC, they used to have a tournament called Seasons Beatings, which is like a regional that happened in the winter, and that has since come and gone. So Raj was like really like the last like prominent Ohio tournament. So it's really sad to see it go. It somehow missed you at Evo. Yeah, like listen, man, I missed a lot of people at Evo that were apparently there. There were a bunch of people from Ohio that were also at Evo, and I just like didn't see them at all. The Mandalay Bay is a pretty big place. It's very easy to miss people. Yeah, Raj had like a very interesting mix of like modern and like retro titles. I want to see if I can. I wonder if I can actually find their event page from last year, because it had like a fairly decent mix. Because it wasn't just like a fighting game event; it was also a rhythm game event as well. There was like a bunch of like rhythm game stuff going on. Let me see if I can find that tweet wasn't posted via the. That wasn't posted on the page here. Oh man, okay. Royal Arcade Jam 2019 lineup? Question mark? I know I have the picture on my phone, but I don't have an easy way of like pulling that up here. Let's see. Raj 2019 lineup. As I scroll through Twitter, like off screen, because sometimes Twitter be throwing stuff at me that should not be thrown at me while I'm on. Ugh, okay. I think this is some of it. So this is just like a brief glimpse at like last Raj's lineup. And this was like early on in 2019. There were a ton more games that were added. I entered in Street Fighter and Sam Show at the time. I think I placed 9th in Sam Show, and I don't know where I placed in Street Fighter 5. I'd have to double check, but I did get on stream. I did fight No Good. I also got rocked by No Good. So hashtag Falk struggle. Next year, you, Joe, and I. Yes. Yes. We're gonna make it happen. Oh my god. Yes. Best part of Evo last year was infiltrations. Yeah, you know what? The interesting thing about like infiltration winning Sam Show, like the audience reception was like seemingly mixed. I didn't personally notice the negatives whenever I was like there, because I was actually sitting in the stands watching Sam Show Grand Finals, and it was an interesting mix of everything. So it was kind of hard to tell like if people were like happy about it, people were sad about it. It's kind of like, you know. All I know is that Sam Show, good game. Bad netcode, but good game. And I would love to play more of it in the future, especially whenever offline events come back. Because I very, very deeply believe in my heart that they will come back. It's just a matter of when. Okay, let's see. This is the longest part of the build. Facts. Like, big facts. Like, last time I did a build stream, like, the enclosure was already, like, built. But this is gonna look good. It'll at the very least look decent just to start with, but definitely like the ultimate end product. It'll look fantastic. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I have to wait to grow nails. I mean, my nails tend to grow like pretty fast, so. Okay, let's take this and this. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, now the last panel. Joke is setting from future. I mean, if you had to make any guess on whether or not someone was half Italian or not. That's actually funny. Yeah, not Irish. It's kind of interesting that like you guys as well as myself are like all like East Coast based. That thought never really like occurred to me. Like, even though I can go on Twitter and very clearly see that, you know, New Jersey and then like South Carolina. East Coast, Best Coast. I'm in a very interesting situation because I am East Coast born but Midwest raised. It just be like that sometimes. Whenever it comes to fighting games, that's basically what it is. Okay, so now that we have like all of the panels and whatnots, finally, finally taken off of their seals, we can get things started. Now, we have this panel right here, which needs to be put on the opposite way because of how the screws are set up. Okay. I could probably... Let me wipe this down first. Okay. In every single one of my arcade stick bags, I keep like a handkerchief so I can wipe things down. Especially with my Makoto hitbox, like with it being like mostly like white negative space, when that thing gets like remotely dirty, I notice it instantly. So I always make sure I have like a cleaning cloth in all my arcade stick bags. Here we put my keyboard and yeah, nice. Okay, let's wipe off the bottom just because I feel like it's actually gonna take off my glasses. Cleaning cloths, I believe, are like an underrated essential for arcade stick button builds. Yo, mash some buttons. What's good, my dude? You are witnessing the beginning of a new era for the Salt Monastery. And I don't have a name for this build yet because it's still just gonna be like a hodgepodge of like numerous different things from previous builds. So until it gets a proper name, we shall call it the Frankenbox. It's a shame I don't play Victor in VSAB. Otherwise, I would have so many ideas if that were the case. But unfortunately, I do not play Victor. Okay. This, and I'm just gonna line this up here. Okay. Let me also take a look at some of these like screws and whatnot that we got. Okay, so we got all the screws right here. And then there are these things. So this is okay, so let's place these. Yeah, okay. Let me just have a look real quick. Okay, now it all makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see, so the order I go in, 1 PCB screwed to the middle panel, 2 buttons in the top panel, 3 secure standoffs, top 2 panels, 4 sides, 5 window. Window design your steps. Okay, 6 bottom. Got it. Alright, so we'll go up and then down. Okay. Screw bottom panels, foam. Okay. Piece screw to the middle. Gotcha. Alright, so cover this with a cloth, and then right before your eyes, she'll magically disappear. Okay, so let's try this the actual way that John recommends that we do this. Okay, so starting from me screenshotting this, starting from the middle panel, I'm gonna try and get things situated with the PCB. Kind of move on from there. Okay, let's see. Actually, I never noticed it. I actually didn't notice the little mounting holes on the. Okay, so the mounting holes on the middle panel. Gotcha. Nice. Okay, probably gonna. I really don't even need to like actually wipe this off like immediately right now because I'm just gonna be working on the opposite side anyway. But I am a germaphobe, so let me just. Okay, so what we're gonna be installing into this is that we're gonna be installing a Brook UFB. So, perfectly positioned spot right here. So, I am going to grab that box. Okay. As mentioned before, I have the parts that I'm using are repurposed from my Toki Omni build, so it's really just like we have the USB cable, everything here set up alongside our glorious, super fresh SOCD cleaner. Focus. Yeah, this camera never likes to focus. It sucks. Okay. So we have the cable and the cleaner all set up, and then we also have the PCB itself, which still has the God, that's the old PCB feed. Ugh. I really should just like cut these things off. Okay, so first thing that we're gonna do is that we are going to PCB into position. To give you a little bit of a background story of this PCB real quick. Whenever I was using my Toki Omni, I was using it for a bit, which is like its regular PCB, which wasn't universal at the time. And then like shortly after, like I got like a thorough understanding of it and how it all worked and whatnot. It's the PCB started to die on me, and it was a very sad day. It was a very, very sad day. So it was on that day that I ordered a replacement PCB in the Brook UFB, which I was going to buy for this anyway, but it, I just had like an actual like proper excuse to replace it with one now. So basically, I kept the wiring from the original PCB and then just kind of like manually wired it in place on here. So because of that, we'll be assembling this with all the original wires from that original stick build. The legacy of my Omni lives on in this build. Trying to squeeze this so that way I can just like push it through. There we go. Improve. I have taller ones now. Yeah. Alright, come on. Loose. Okay. Last one, if it'll just be, if they can just cooperate with me for like 5 seconds. There we go. Alright, so now we can toss these out. And the next step is to get things positioned. Okay, so based on how I have everything wired, I think it would be in our best interest to have it placed like... probably placed like this. If I were to look back at the glorious example given to us before, this would be the proper recommended way to wire this up. So get it. First step is to identify the screws that we need. And the little feet necessary to get this thing propped up. Alright, so let's see. So before I actually just like spill these screws all over the place, I'm going to get our little screwdriver set. And I will place this. I need a bigger desk. Like I say this back home, but I especially made it more so now here. I need like a separate desk for modding. Like, I have 2 desks in my dorm. But even then, there's like no way I can move my stream rig over there. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we will have a proper setup for mods. But until then, we will work with what we have. Okay. Hashtag FGC poverty. Let me clear out. Okay. Okay, so here's the first little PCB foot I will place on this little thing right here, and the second one is right, yeah. And then I can make the very safe assumption that there's probably gonna be 2 screws that are significantly shorter than any other screw that's here, and that's probably what we're gonna want to use. Let's see, so that one's also super small, and this one's super small. Okay, so we have 4 little screws there. I have a whole office inside enough. Ugh. Big oof. Let's see. So trying to make sure we got everything in terms of like the scope of this handled. So these 8 screws are for these parts right here, which kind of hold the top and bottom panels together. I'm trying to figure out what these like extra like small screws are for, although I am very certain that these are what we need. But we can think about that later. Let's just get things started. First things first, we need to figure out what bit we're gonna want to use for this. So this uses a hexagonal bit. Let's see, there should be 4x4, 40 screws, 2 for PCB, 2 for the Nutric. Okay, gotcha. Now it all makes sense. Let's see if I can find the bit for this. Let's see, it's probably in here. Let's just give this a shot. Alright, found the appropriate bit that we need. Just gonna keep here. Okay. Set this aside, and I will move this over to my mouse pad. Also put my glasses on my... Okay. No. Those are not yours. Those are mine. Go away. Shoot. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this bit in. Now that we know exactly what we're gonna want for this. Here, pick up the panel. This is right below here. This little... Okay. Let's see. Nice, so PCB. What PCB am I using? I am going to be using a Brook UFB. Typically, the Brook UFB is my universal go-to option for any and all arcade stick mods that I do. Unless I'm doing a retro build, then I use the Brook Retro board. As a fighting game player with like a very like extreme passion for arcade stick modding, I tend to find myself like finding a lot of reasons to favor a lot of different brands, and I'm not saying this is because we have like representatives for potentially 3 different brands in this Twitch chat right now, but if there's one brand that I could work like unabashedly for with like no worries at all about like being exclusive to them and them alone, it would have to be Brook. I would love to just like work with Brook a lot more closely, since I only use their PCBs for my arcade stick builds anyway. So, but you know, if I have to be exclusive to them, I'm perfectly okay with that. Okay. So now, if it's set this in place, we can slide PCB down right here, and it gives it enough little like free real estate for it to be like slightly elevated off of the surface of the acrylic, which is nice. Now, we're gonna take these little hexes and, oh god. And on. And I look forward to potentially doing that. So the double KO board, that's your I'm trying to remember, like that's your dual PCB component, isn't it? Like a small little like screwdriver or something, but I think this is screwed on enough. I didn't see them at EVO last year. I don't think Brook, like as a company, like goes out and represents themselves at events too much. They do sponsor like some players. Like I know that I think they sponsor XYZCY. I could be wrong. They sponsor some player from from their region. It's what I'm working on for the NES to PS4. Gotcha. I'm gonna have to look into that channel a little bit more, because the thing, you're working on like a lot of different projects right now, and I like casually dip into the channels and just kind of see what's going on like in medias res. But I never really get too many opportunities to like actually like sit down and like go through and look at everything. So I'll definitely have to have a look at that at some point. Am I sponsored? So in terms of sponsorships, the only thing that I have that's kind of a sponsor is I have an affiliate sponsorship with Grinding Coffee Co. And they are a black-owned LGBTQ affiliated coffee brand, primarily targeted towards the gamer audience. They are a primarily online run business, so that allows them to send most of their profits and proceeds to charity. So 50% of their proceeds go to the Coffee Trust, I believe it's called, and that charity is entirely dedicated to giving back to the facilities and grounds where they receive their grounds for coffee. So if you guys sound interested in that and you want to check out that, be sure to type in !coffee in the chat, and if you use code pretzels at checkout, you can get 13% off of your next order. So yeah, so other than that, I'm not sponsored. If COVID dies, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch. I'm definitely looking forward to like actually going out to events now, because heavens have shined down upon me in this very dark time, because they have given me a car. The Faustian bargain is that they gave me a car during COVID, so I can't go to events because events don't happen. It's a very frustrating thing. So I definitely want to go to more events next year. I had everything queued up to send a bunch of like University of Akron students to Combo Breaker this year. That didn't happen. I was going to try and send people to Raj this year. Obviously I can't do that because of COVID anyway, but Raj got canceled, so I can't do that. I was hoping to go to CEO this year because CEO was going to be like the day after my birthday, and I thought that would be awesome. I also did try a crowdfunding thing to get me to EVO, and that failed spectacularly, but you gotta have your failure. Yeah, you have to have your failures if you're going to like succeed in any capacity. But yeah, I have a bunch of ambitions for like traveling to more events. I just need to like actually make time. Hopefully with me graduating this coming spring, hopefully, I should be able to do a lot more like going out to events and stuff, because I pretty much go out to the locals every single chance I possibly get. Like anytime that any of the Akron boys are like, hey, we're driving out to Cleveland to go to a local, do you guys want to go? And I'm like, yes. Let's see, PCB to the middle panel, buttons in the top panel is the next step on here. So everyone say goodbye to the middle panel. We will see it again very shortly. Bye, middle panel. Now, it's top panel time. And I need to wipe this thing off. Like, that little smudge, ever since I took this thing, ever since I took the protective filming off, I was just like, it needs to go away. It needs to go away. It needs to go away. A lot of stuff on this thing. Jesus. Perhaps use gloves? Yeah, gloves would be a very smart thing here. Actually, you know what? I might actually have a pair of gloves on me. It might be in my cleaning. It might be in my cleaning supplies. Give me a sec. Alright then. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me that I actually have gloves. My mother is a really big germaphobe, which I think is partially where I get it from. And with this year especially, they went ham on getting me cleaning supplies, so they also gave me gloves. I should probably just have like a box of gloves stocked for whenever I do more arcade stick builds like this, just to make sure I can keep like the top plexiglass clean. It's usually the plexiglass that I have to be most concerned about whenever I'm like actually like cleaning stuff. All right. All right. Now we're ready. I'm a child. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna wet up like the tip of this real quick and then wipe this down again. Okay. Up the acrylic real quick and then like immediately wipe it down. It's because I'm noticing like a lot of like little like smudge marks here and there from like various different things, so I just want to make sure we can just get rid of as much of it as we possibly can. Okay. Lifting up the glasses a little bit. The joys of acrylic, yeah, seriously. What is this little like smudge? God. It's I'm holding it up to the light source in my room, even though like the dorm's lighting is pretty trash. I'm waiting for one of the light bulbs to just go out of my dorm like while I'm in the middle of streaming, and I'm just gonna freak the hell out, and it's gonna be like extremely funny. Okay. Like every time I think I'm good, I keep finding more spots. That's the best. Okay, I think this is the best we can probably do for now. So I'm gonna set this thing down on this as soon as I can get this flat enough for me to do that. Okay. Yes. All right. That was help. Okay. All right. So next step is that we're gonna need our buttons. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the ones that aren't box right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, so for the most part, we're going to be using primarily white buttons for this build because I just so happen to have enough white buttons to like not like absolutely drive me insane. The catch with me using white buttons for this build is that my 3 direction buttons here are going to be crowns and everything else is going to be Sanwas. It's just a compromise I have to make since I don't have like all the buttons I need for that. So we're gonna get things started, and we will start by taking care of the crowns first. And this actually gives me a really good opportunity to show off the layer shift wrenches. So I used these whenever I did my mod stream for the butter box, because the butter box is also primarily equipped with crown buttons. Excuse me. Get to do this again. So I think what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna like slide each of these in. This down. Yeah. And then we'll screw these in one at a time. I get way too much enjoyment out of that. Okay. So we're gonna take this little bit and take our 24mm layer shift screw. And we're gonna have to like you know what, I might actually have to do this one button at a time because otherwise I do not think I'll actually be able to get a firm hold and be able to actually screw these. So let me lift this up and do this one button at a time. Like that, very firmly. All them. I feel like a surgeon with these gloves on. Am I a med student? No. I did once date a med student though. I'm a CS student. I am going through my 4th year in my computer science degree. So all things going well, I will graduate this coming spring with a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. Perfectly fits in. You know what? Because I want to showcase this off at least once, I haven't had a chance to use these things since I got them. So, John, this is for you. I'm gonna put the little bottom plunger over the button. Put the little top cap in. Let's place that in, and then we push. Comes out just like that. Comes out just like that. Speaking of the snap out tools, John, just to let you know, I got back to one of my winners of the giveaway, and he recently used your tools for one of the hitbox builds that he was working on, and it worked fantastically for him. He is extremely happy with this experience. So thank you very much for gifting those prizes to me, so that way I can then give them away. So I still have to reach out to Mattis Mao and the other girl who won the tools for someone on Instagram. But just know that like I spoke to one of them and they love the tools. I figured I would reach out to him first because I shipped the tools from Ohio. He lives in Columbus, so it just made sense to at least check up on him first. Okay. Amazes me that it took this long to be made. Whatever thought of it. Hey man, you gotta capitalize on these ideas. There are a lot of unexplored business opportunities in the fighting game community. You just happen to find one that like everyone really needs. Okay, so now that we have all the buttons in place on the top panel, we need to secure the standoffs to the top two panels. So basically what that means is that we have to secure these things. So we got 4 of these things. I'm holding 2 of them, but we got 4 of these things, and we're going to grab the top panel, which I'm reaching hella far for this. Take this panel, and I should probably wipe this down again before I actually place this on this. Let me grab. I'm using this cloth on this. Let me grab another like handkerchief because I have a ton of these. Okay, so I grabbed the fresh one. This one has never been used, so I wonder how crisp these things actually are. Alright. I'm going to wipe down the top surface of this, and I will do this off screen, so that way I can actually keep the top flexi clean. I hope you guys are having a pretty solid night so far. I'm just going through and doing my usual thing. I usually do. As it says on my Facebook page, when I am not playing fighting games, I am either doing weeb stuff or I am modding arcade sticks. Lo and behold, I am modding an arcade stick. guys want to check out the Facebook page, I believe you can do so by typing in !Facebook in the chat. I'm currently trying to get the Facebook page to 100 followers because I'm currently trying to get it to 100 for a couple of like long-term like stream things I might end up doing on that platform. So if you guys can like help share the page and like help it get to 100 followers, that would be great. That's the thing I'm really trying to push. Doing this and designing stuff. Nice. Where I keep wiping this thing down, I keep finding more things on this to actually wipe off afterwards. It's like something that's coming in through like the vents or something. Like, ugh. Okay, you know what? I think this is probably the best if we're probably gonna get it. So let's just take this and place this right here. I should probably wipe off the bottom panel too. Hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, so now we're gonna place this here, and now everything aligns perfectly. So, next step is that we have to secure the little screws for this. So we are going to take this and bring it up through, let's do this corner first. Here. Knowing that the screws are black for this means I'm probably gonna have to, whoever I end up commissioning to do artwork for this, I'm gonna have to tell them, yo, you're gonna have some stuff that you're gonna have to work around. Cause I've had artists do that before, where it's like I've told them, hey, this case has screws on the surface here, here, and here that are very blatant and they stand out a lot. Can you do something in your design to make sure that they don't actually show? And if you guys check out the Salt Monastery Discord server, we have a channel called Controller Showcase. And if you check out that channel, there's a picture of the stick that I very eloquently and favorably call the Mirio stick, because it's a stick of Lemillion Mirio from My Hero Academia, and that's actually the stick that I used to not go 0-2 at Evo. We went 1-2. We are winners here. So I used that stick at Evo and only Evo, and then I immediately retired it and went and used my hitbox because it was like written in the stars for this to happen. But shortly after I had like finished modding that stick, I had entered a giveaway to win a hitbox, and I won it. So now I'm a hitbox player. And for the most part, that stick generally gets used whenever I am playing typically a lot of SNK fighters, specifically like KOF. Like, I don't know what it is, but like KOF, like, it's like a game that I like need to play on stick. Which is why I'm holding off on learning King of Fighters 98 or relearning 14 until I can get my cross up, which he'll get here TM soon. I'm really hard trying to find like an actual. I was looking in the wrong section. This is certain. That's definitely not the right bit. How did that get in here? Oh, you know, this actually might be the thing I need. Yeah, this is exactly the bit I need. It just accidentally got put in the wrong spot. Jesus. Okay. Okay, so let me take this and secure this. This is pretty stable. Next one goes here. And then once we get this all like set and everything, I'll show off what it looks like from above so far. Alright, and then just screw it on the rest of the way with the screwdriver. Okay. We've been streaming for like an hour and a half so far. Taking off the acrylic really took that long. Jesus. Because I guarantee you that's probably what took up most of the time of this mod. Just like us just trying to get the acrylic off, the acrylic protection paper off of the acrylic itself. It's an essential step, which is why I included in the stream. But my God. That took a while. I still plan on doing the initial like testing phases for this whenever we're done. So what I'm probably gonna do is that I'm probably gonna boot up Street Fighter V real quick and just test the SOCD cleaner, and then I'm gonna go into the Sam Show 5 Perfect, or not 5 Perfect, 5 Special. I am not playing 5 Perfect. And then just kind of give it like a more practical test run. And then this stick this hitbox will basically replace my official hitbox, at least for a little while. Still got the butter box for now, so. Yeah, provided that I'm wiring everything up correctly, it was pretty odd. Like again, I really did not trust the little like the cardboard build that I was working from, so that's why I really wanted to like have this done. Okay, so for the Bitbang gaming crew, the way how I'm gonna do it is that I'm gonna wire up everything the way how the PCB says you should wire everything up in terms of like left, right, everything else, and then we'll see how it looks. Even though I'm pretty certain that I'm getting like weird like direction inverts for some odd reason, I don't quite understand it. But that's a thing that we'll get to whenever we get to. So the next thing we have to do is that we have to secure the sides. So I'm just going to grab the side panels from below. see. Actually, yeah, real quick, since I said I was going to do this after I got these things assembled. Here is what this looks like from a top-down view so far. So this is without the sides, so you can still see the inserts for the sides here. This is what the build looks like so far. And once this is like actually like done, we'll have like artwork that we'll place under here. So far, looking good. And so next step is to get the side panels. So the Butter Bomber has a left and a right side panel for 3 buttons each. So how I'm gonna wire up each of these, I have no clue, but I will figure it out as I go. It might actually be easier for me if I just if I wire up the buttons on these first. So let me go and get these. Skip a step, wiring both sides. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. But even so, I'm still gonna get the I'm gonna get these screws for the buttons off so far. Because the side panels do have inserts for me to put snap-ins on those in the future, which I think those will be a lot cheaper, especially whenever I actually go on to the Smitsus. And for the time being, we're just gonna use screw-ons for the side panels. I think my ultimate goal at the end of this is that whenever we do the final mod, I'm gonna mod like this entire stick with Smitsu buttons. Because I'm also trying to spend a little bit of time trying out individual types of arcade stick buttons. So I'm thinking so here's what I'm thinking about doing. My official hitbox is gonna have Sanwas. The Butter Box is gonna have layer shifts, 3D printed buttons, just because I think that's a very cool mix. Another build that I am working on soon, TM, is going to have the crown buttons in them, and then this build, once it's said and done, is going to have Smitsus. So that's the game plan. I still don't know when I'm gonna end up working with Gamer Fingers, but yeah. So let me think about how I want to wire up the. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna want to wire up everything. So having 6 auxiliary buttons is a luxury, which is why I really liked playing games on my Mirio stick, because the Mirio stick also had 6 buttons, 6 auxiliary buttons. So now the ultimate question is how do we want to wire everything up? I think what I could probably do is home, start, select, and then on this side I could have touchpad and whatever these other 2 can be. Actually, you know what? Touchpad, left stick, right stick, maybe? Maybe? Touchpad, left stick, right stick. Yeah, that could work. Let's take this little cable here, and I'll also pull up a little thing that Brooke gave me, so give me a sec. thus far the mod's going really well. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, all right. So with that in mind, we're going to take this little cable right here, and we're going to plug that. Right. Yeah. Oops, wrong slot. Okay, right. Yeah. It doesn't get the labeling here, but I think that's fine. Okay. So let's see. These should definitely reach. Alright, so let me just get the buttons put on these, and then we'll wire them up and then place them in. Okay. And this. Now let's go ahead and wire up. Okay, and let's see. Now I'm trying to remember specifically how the colors are coordinated for this. So closely, red, blue, green. Means the red one is the touchpad. The blue one is L3, and the green one is R3. So we're gonna wire up the red one first. I'm gonna go with good old L3. Last one. R3. Okay, so that's that side taken care of. Now we just gotta take care of the other side. Actually, you know what? Do I want those on the right side, or do I want the other ones on the left side? Ooh. Is I can put this one. Nah, we're keeping it here. I'll deal with how weird it'll it'll be to have like my actual like important buttons on the right side of the stick. I mean, I'm typically used to my auxiliary buttons being, or like my main aux buttons being on the right side, but you know what? Change of pace. This entire stick, it's about a change of pace. Oh, got that wiped down. Let's go ahead and put these things on. Alright. Now next up, other aux buttons. Oh god. There we go. Okay, so these are my kicks, so these can be ignored. These are my punches, so these can be ignored. This is what we need. Okay. So. They really, it's okay. Totally could have daisy chained this. Okay. Yeah, so this is just my wiring as Itoki has given me, and as I have like managed to transition effectively. You should have seen me whenever I was like first modding my Itoki Omni with the Baroque UFB, because I was panicking when it came to like manually like stripping the wires and like putting them up in here. Like, oh my god, I was like, to speak in regards to past me, mans was sweating. And was hella sweating. Alright, so we're gonna wire up home to be right here. The red is start, so I'm gonna make that one this. And then select will go here. Okay. Next step is to obviously wire up the new trick. So let's get the new trick in place here, because that's also a very important part of the side panels. Let's see, so the new trick is...
Are you mine or are you not mine? I'm yours and I'm yours. You're the side from my soul rise. You're so close to me, it's so far.
Oh dear lord, this cable is extremely long. I probably should have thought about like wiring stuff with a shorter cable, but I also have the time to be thinking about that. I can worry about like making like proper fancy cabling stuff later. Let me go and grab the new trick. Okay, let's see. It almost looks like the wiring guide, yeah. We're getting there. Okay, so let's place this on like here, and yeah, and I have a little cover. So I have a little silver new trick with a little black front cover, so that's what we'll be working with. Okay, so let's take this, place this on here, and put this here. I'm gonna take this and screws right there. Our tool. And screws on this way. And hold this and try to hold this in place as I try to screw this on. Okay, so we managed to finally get this thing, on there in like some capacity. Okay, so then I can get that screwed on in just a moment until we get this position with the other one, and then we can screw on both. Come on. Oh. Okay. So now I'm going to try to hold that screw in place and then take a screwdriver with the actual bit that we need. You just have to properly tighten on the new trick. Properly in place. Do this other one. It's lifting up a little bit off the Right, well, seems that we've basically got it in place. Oh, it's kind of lifting up in some cases it's not, but for the most part, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so now that we have successfully accomplished this much, we are going to put these sides in place. I'm going to start off with this one, and this just kind of plops in. And then this just kind of follows. Same for this. And, ooh. Let me try and see how how wiring this in is gonna work out. Okay. I think this is... Yeah, this is way too big. Okay, so we are going to have to... we're gonna make a big swap. Okay. Ah. Okay, so the hub of that is going to take up a lot of space, so... Time to reverse a couple of things. By a couple of things, I mean a lot of things. I'm gonna flip the PCB around, and then that should help fix our little issue with the cable. A little oversight on my part, but no big deal. We can work around this. At the square hands to give me. You know what? That would actually be very useful right now. But we shall survive. We shall survive. Shouldn't take too long. It's going to be a very strategic flip. I didn't think about it. Flipping it the opposite way would make the most sense. Alright, John. I will catch you later. Thank you so much for helping me out with getting the enclosure to these specifications that I wanted. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna make sure, one, I'm gonna make sure we get through the rest of this mod as quickly as feasibly possible, and second of all, I'm gonna make sure that we get good testing in tonight. Probably gonna extend how late we will stream tonight. This is kind of compensation for this build taking a really long time. My schedule can accommodate for it. I will do it. Alright. So, all we have to do is we just have to, swap around the, PCB. And in the process, we'll actually end up getting the proper auxiliary button configuration that I wanted, just by having the home start and select on the right while I have the other stuff on the left. Now we will actually be able to have that a little more easily. So here in the Solid Monastery, we are all about looking on the bright side of things. And this is something to definitely look on the bright side on. Okay. So if there's one lesson that I've learned today, because we are all about learning lessons here in the Salt Monastery, it's that if I'm doing a build on stream for an acrylic case, to give myself an extra hour of stream time, because yeah. I already have an enclosure already and set to go. It takes significantly less time. I did the bulk here instead. Yeah, we're almost there. I feel like the rest will like go by like fairly quickly just as soon as we get this done. It's just like this in terms of like flipping around like the PCB is just like a minor setback because
I guess we all have future pants. They're pants we're going to wear tomorrow.
yeah.
And the next day.
Thinking without walls. I can imagine like me doing like a time lapse of like me building this arcade stick, and then just seeing it like progress forward for a little bit, and then like have like a record scratch, and then it just says, "Oh wait, I have to swap around the PCB," and then I have to go. Then I just go and then like immediately speed up through like this whole swapping process. I don't usually do time lapse videos on my channel. That might be interesting. That might be an interesting little bit of ground to cover. I do have like other projects I could be working on YouTube wise, but definitely one I can keep in mind. Okay, so let's take care of this again. Standoffs ready, and as soon as standoffs are ready, then we can get back to business. This here.
Pants we're going to wear tomorrow. And the next day. And the day after that.
Right there, those out or something. Okay. Now for the other side. Da, da. Okay, so now we are back to where we were. So now I'm going to take everything and, you know what? I think even with this, we were probably still gonna have to wire up everything the exact same way anyway, because I don't think the other way is gonna reach. So let's see. Let's take this and all of its cables, and then move this over here. I don't remember, how did I actually have this? The middle one's definitely touchpad. Green was... Green was right stick. The blue was left stick. Okay, so it's in the right position then. All right. And we got this. Currently oriented with touchpad in the middle. Red is start. So start, left, select. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. As we slowly piece things back together. Okay. Ooh, okay, and this is a whole bunch of new challenges, let me just make sure that I can actually, like, wire this out with the grand scheme of things. Why did I pick the longest cable imaginable, like, to set up the cleaner on? Jesus, okay. It doesn't matter because we can get it plugged in. Doesn't matter anyway because we can get it plugged in. Okay, and now we can successfully plug that in here, and this is a so many cables. So many cables. So little time. Okay. I'm probably gonna. I'll definitely like do something to downsize like the cabling and whatnot of this later, but for now we're just gonna have to deal with it. So messes of cables and other things. I think the obvious next step is that we need to wire up everything. So as I try to grab the last little piece of acrylic. Let's swipe this down. And come on, just put this in. Go in. Go in. Let's see. Almost there. Almost there. Ah! Wait. Okay, maybe the back panels go in, front and back panels go in first, and then the side panels go in. I think that's how this works. Yeah, so it's the, yeah, then the sides just kind of like slide in. Okay, I almost freaked out for a moment, but we're good. At least that's what I should be saying. How many like? I think there's no like big difference between. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm stupid. Puzzle pieces. Wrong side. Okay. Now we are good. Let's see. So next up we have to wire everything up while also making sure that everything is. Gotcha. Okay. So here's the fun part, which is usually the part that takes the longest amount of time, but here we are. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to wire up the cleaner first. All this excess USB cabling. Let's see. I'm probably gonna do like, I'm supposed to be getting a refund check from college for my tuition, which is a glorious feeling, by the way, when your college is giving you money. I'm supposed to be getting a refund check from them in a bit. So with whatever excess money I have, I'll probably go out and like fine tune. And by fine tune, I mean get a shorter USB cable. So let's see. So we just gotta plug this into this. And then from here, this is where things get interesting. Actually, you know what? This might actually help to explain what's going on with this. Oh, you know what? Yep, okay, I just figured it out. The way how this is wired up in here is like the exact opposite. Left is green here, left is yellow here. Yeah, okay, so I know, okay, I now understand what my initial issue was with the, with like me having to like reverse the wiring and stuff. So let me go ahead and swap those around real quick. So I was hoping to not have to do some wiring work today, but here I am. Should just be a real quick fix. Let me remove this bottom side. Mainly what we gotta do is that I gotta swap out yellow and green here. Alright, so hopefully this will actually help us dissect some of the issues that I have been having. So now that I'm actually getting a closer look at this build, I'm starting to see where things might have gone wrong in the past. Okay, so now we just have to swap out, because red is going into down, but red on here is up, so I have to swap these two around. The weird thing is, like, this original wiring worked for a Sanwa JLF. So let's see. Okay, because if you're looking at like the listing here from like the right side, like here, it goes from like it goes down, up, left, right. But the way how it's wired for like a Sanwa JLF PCB is different than how it's wired for different than this, which is a little unusual. Not gonna lie, that's a very strange thing. Oh, you know what? Let me unscrew this and screw this back in. Make sure this is screwed in all the way. I have to go ahead and tighten these some more. Make sure they're properly stable. Make sure that they won't move, and make sure that they still work. Okay. Glad I caught that. Glad I caught that. Okay, so these are the things you realize whenever you're like knee deep in arcade stick wires. Okay, so next thing that we gotta do is we have to wire up everything here with their corresponding directions. So the Super Fresh cleaner has a daisy chained ground wire, which is nice. So it's here. Here, here. Okay, so this orange cable is up. Red one is down. Actually, no, let me wire this one under auxiliaries. That one's down. The yellow one is... Yellow one's left. So that would be this. And the remaining one green is right. Okay. Come on. Let's go in. Go in! There we go. Okay, so that's the directions properly wired up, and then everything else is fairly straightforward. Fairly straightforward, fairly simple. We'll get the stuff done. Alright, so let's see. So yes, we can do the... My god, this is a lot of cables. You see, this is why I want to do the UK Fight Mods stuff. This is too much. This is just too dang much. Okay, so from right to left, it's like, or rather from left to right, it's colors of the rainbow. So just go ahead and separate all of browns. Red, orange, yellow, green, this one, and then this one, and this one. Okay, so that's all the punches. And then last, but certainly not least, are the kicks, which are also rainbow ordered, I guess you could say. Okay. Sort of God. Okay. Let's see. So under here and here. Let's see. I can almost guarantee you that as soon as I go through that wiring guide and actually like implement it once, I'm never gonna want to wire everything normal ever again. Like I can almost, oh Jesus Christ, I guarantee you that. Okay. Oh God. This one probably would have reached. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, wiring is definitely not my favorite part of the modding process. Okay, so now that we have all this set up in terms of like wires and more wires, God help us. Okay, I'm going to take off the little adhesives for the PCB feet and get this thing properly placed on the middle panel. Very soon, this cleaner and this stick will become one, inseparable till the end of time. Or until I decide to replace the middle panel in this. This. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but I don't have OCD, so it's not my problem. Okay. And lastly, before we get the window installed, we have to get the last side put back in. Okay. So, and it's really like elaborate mess. This is it. Okay. Okay, let's take this cable in its extremely elaborateness and kind of I hate to say this, but this is probably gonna be a really tight squeeze. There will be squeezes, and they will be tight. They will be very, very tight. Hopefully I can at least I'll at least be able to see the LEDs at least a little bit. So next step is the window, and then the bottom, and then everything else. So here we have it, the clear window to the sole. I'm just gonna hold this up to my light to make sure this is actually purely wiped down. Which it was, save for like a few like small specks, so we're good. Okay, window. Alright, give me a sec. Place that there. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. Patience. Patience. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty tight. Okay. Applied this lesson the last time we did a build on stream. It's time for our good old friend to make a reappearance. Brute force. Okay, so I'm going to reach around and grab the bottom. While also holding this in place. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we take this, and I'm certain that this is the bottom side, and then we line it up with the panels. Okay, so we line it up with the panels, assuming that we can actually like get the plexi properly situated. Okay. I'm actually gonna have to stand for this. So okay, so those pins go there. And oh dear. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. I has an idea. Try and get some of the corners in, so that way we can get this like at least like kind of situated. Okay, it's one corner. I feel like as long as we can get the other corner in, then we should be fine. Let's see. Whoa, wire sticking out. No. Hashtag do not want. Hashtag do not want. Okay. Alright, I can see it. Okay. think, provided that all the side panels are in line to be, oh god. Provided all the side panels are in line. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, come on. It's like I get one side down and then like the other side just kind of like pops up. It's like, oh. Okay, I might have to try and get this one down, most likely. Okay, that's in. Let's see. So what's going on with the top panel? Or the top side panel, rather. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, you know what? The colorful pasta in there. Yeah, we'll make it like less pasta later. we will find a day and we will de-pasta this stick. Until then, I will forever have to, well, not forever. I will have to stare at this until we can get to the day where we can de-pasta it. Okay. So this is all the screws. I feel like I might actually have to like screw down like more fully. These. And is so close. Close. Before I forget, let me actually check on this foam real quick. We'll get the foam position and everything in the moment. We just gotta make sure that this is like in a good space. Very fitting that we have a track called Imperfection playing right now. But as imperfect as this may be, we're getting closer and closer to finalizing this build. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Screw, dang you. Dang you. Oh, this wasn't. Oh, this isn't right yet. No wonder it wasn't screwing in. Oh, sorry. This one's a T6. This one's a T8. The T8 is the one I need. Alright. It's like the bit I was using, like, it was working, but it was just like, you know. It was just kind of. It was very casually going about and doing its thing. Okay. Corner. That's another corner. That's another corner. And that is the last corner. But that is not it. We are not done yet. Little foam. You have to place. Bottom foam padding. Closure will make this a little bit more complete. I'm going to try and make sure I position this very, very well. Okay. And this track is called Imperfection. I'd say we got this thing down perfectly. Alright boys, get your clip buttons ready. I think we have just finished our test build for the BitBang Gaming Super Fresh SOCD cleaner. Fit very snugly and perfectly inside a butter bomber. I am excited. I am super excited. Okay. So let's back, let's forward. Now nothing. Okay, so left, right, SOCD, that works. And down, up. Now down, up is working. Okay, so it seems like everything is working out just fine.